VCCV rule. Underline the talking vowels, mark them with a V. V stands for vowel. Swoop between the vowels and mark the consonants in between with a C. This shows us the VCCV pattern and tells us where to cut. We cut right between the consonants. We sound out the syllables one at a time. Ab, rab, it, bit, rabbit. We know that the vowels A and I say their short sound because in each syllable they end in a consonant that closes off the syllable. The next rule is the VCV rule. With this VCV rule, we underline the talking vowels. We mark them with a V. We draw our swoop between the V points, and then we mark our consonant in between. The first thing we try is to divide right after the first vowel. And then we get U, N, it, unit. We know that this vowel, since it's all by itself in the syllable, is not closed in with a consonant. That's why it says it's long sound. This vowel is closed with a consonant, and it will say it's short sound. Unit. Sometimes dividing after the first vowel does not work for a word. Sometimes dividing after the first vowel does not make a word. For example, here we underline the talking vowels, we mark them with a V, we do our swoop, and we mark our consonant. If we divide after the first vowel, we get a word that does not make sense. K-A-B-I-N, cabin. There is no such thing as a cabin, so we'll try to divide after the consonant instead of after the vowel. Underline the talking vowels, mark them with a V, do our swoop, mark our consonant, but this time we will try dividing after the consonant. Now we have a closed syllable. K-ab, cab, in, cabin, cabin. The next syllable type is the magic E. If you see an E at the end of the word, it makes the previous vowel say its name. We call that a magic E syllable. So when we're marking our vowels, we do not mark the magic or silent E. We underline our talking vowels. We mark them with a V. We swoop from V point to V point, and we mark the consonants in between. This does show us our cutting pattern right between the two consonants. We know the first syllable is a closed syllable because the vowel is closed in with a consonant. So this is how we sound this one out. S-up, sup. But the second syllable has this magic E that makes this vowel say its name. So when we sound it out, we will sound it this way. P-O's, pose. S-up, pose, suppose. The next type of syllable is a vowel team syllable. It is where the first vowel says its name and the second vowel doesn't say anything. We look at this as one vowel as a team. So when we go to mark our talking vowel, when we mark our talking vowels, we underline our talking vowels, EAs together because it is a vowel team. It will say its long sound. We underline the other vowel. We mark them with our V's and do our swoop. And we mark the consonant. We're going to try to divide right after the vowel, the first vowel, and then we have E, P, N, ut, nut. We know that this syllable is going to be an open syllable and the vowel will say its name. There's not a consonant in this syllable closing it off, so this is P. Over here we know this vowel U will say its short sound because there is a consonant that closes it off. N, ut, p, e, n, ut, peanut. Another syllable type is our R control syllable. R control vowels are ones where the vowel sound is totally taken over by the R next to it. In this case, ER says er. So we underline. We underline our talking vowels. We mark them with a V. We do our swoop. We mark the consonants in between, and we have our cutting pattern. We know where to cut. We have b, ut, but, and I know this U will say its short sound because it's blocked in with a consonant. It's a closed syllable. B, ut, er. Notice the ER stays together and says er, so we have but, ter, butter. Our next syllable type is a consonant LE. We have a special rule for the LE, and we just start at the end and we count back 3. 1, 2, 3, which tells us where to divide our syllable. We still underline our talking vowel, but the other one we know to count back 3. 1, 2, 3. That tells us where to cut our syllables. First syllable is a closed syllable, so the U will say its short sound here. B, ub, bub. And over here we have bull, the LE with the B in front of it. Bull, bub, bull. If we can logically divide a word that is a compound word, we kind of know where our syllables are going to be divided anyway. In this case, we have play, ground, so we would know to divide this word in between the two words of the compound word. Also, word parts that we know, like tion, which says shun, we can kind of group that together and know we're going to cut. Our cutting pattern will be right before the shun. In this case, we know that the A is going to be a long syllable because it's not closed in with a consonant. So we would say stay, shun, station.